Alright, Danny here. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here at the AMC. I'm gonna go watch The Creator. So I'm gonna check it out on the Dolby Digital Theater. So as soon as I come out, I'll give my impressions. Looking forward to this movie, although the marketing has been very bare minimum, so I'm not really sure what the movie's about. I just know it's about artificial intelligence, androids, robots, and a lot of awesome, pretty special effects. So I'll be right back. I just got out of the theater from watching The Creator. I have to say this movie was pretty interesting. I know prior to seeing the movie I had read a couple of reviews. There were some reviews that really raved about the movie, other reviews that said the movie was pretty good, but it wasn't as good as some other viewers made it out to be. I kind of lean more on that stance. I think the movie was pretty interesting. I don't believe it was the next great sci-fi movie. They did some really interesting things in this movie. What stood out to me the most was that the robots were pretty much in hiding, right? And when you see a lot of the background scenes and the settings, you can see how there were a lot of modern buildings that really integrated very well with nature. And interestingly enough, right, the movie's about how there's this prejudice against AI. But outside of that, there wasn't really anything that made this movie stand out from any other movie we've seen in the past. I mean, we've had iRobot, we've had Matrix. I mean, we've had a ton of movies that kind of touch this subject, and I feel like some of them have done better than this movie. This was really a good way to build this world, this universe. I think there's a potential there to tell other stories in the future taking place in this universe, right? But other than that, I feel like the story was pretty straightforward, even sometimes predictive. There were scenes throughout the movie where I was looking forward to see, okay, where are they going to take this? Are they going to take it in a different direction than what I'm expecting? And no, they didn't. A lot of the things from the movie I pretty much guessed at the very beginning of the movie, and I don't know if it was just because maybe I've seen way too many sci-fi movies, or if it was just really that the script for this movie was a little on the underwhelming side. It's not a bad movie. It's hard for me to say if I would recommend anyone to watch it, to spend money in theater and check it out. I mean, if you have AMC Movie Pass, by all means, it's not going to cost you an extra penny, but it's not the greatest sci-fi movie. I don't think it's the next landmark movie where it's like, oh wow, here's the new Matrix, here's the new Star Wars, the new Star Trek. No, it definitely falls very short of that. There were some really cool action sequences. The movie's emotion really came between the bond of the main character Joshua and Alfie, which is the young girl who's an AI robot, and that little girl played a great part. Her performance was excellent. I feel like, I forget his name, David Washington, Denzel's son. I think his performance was okay. It wasn't anything out of the ordinary. Gemma Chan was pretty cool in the movie, but again, not much of a role there for her. So it's hard to say, yeah, there were great performances in this movie. They were okay. They were not bad. As far as the CGI was great. The special effects were awesome. You can tell that there were some pieces, some set pieces where it looked a little grainy, and they kind of took a bit of an old school approach to the CGI. It reminded me a lot of like Blade Runner or even The Fifth Element. It wasn't like that really glossy CGI that almost looked synthetic. So it had that really grounded look to it, where a lot of these buildings and a lot of the settings can actually exist in real world, which again, like I said at the very beginning, it's interesting that the robots, the AI lived harmoniously with the world around them, right? It wasn't like they were taking over and, getting rid of nature or anything like that. Whereas, the antagonist of the movie, which was good old America, right? You look at their cities and they're populated and, they're surrounded by tall buildings, cement, metal buildings and all that. So there were a couple of cool things about the movie. I don't typically rate my movies, but I give it a solid 7. And that's not to say that it's great, but it's not bad. It's certainly worth a watch. If you enjoy sci-fi, if you enjoy seeing different worlds, different settings, this is certainly a very interesting movie as far as art direction goes and design. So that it has a lot of that going for it. I think for the Oscars, it might be a solid contender for special effects, but hopefully we'll get some sequels and maybe they can expand on the story and, tell a bigger story where it's a little bit more epic, maybe more emotional. We'll just have to wait and see. But if you've seen the movie, let me know what you thought about it. Leave a comment below, and if you like this video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notifications bell to stay up to date with my content. And until next time, that is a wrap. Now I just got to find out what that movie is.